Welcome to a deep dive into a world you might not expect recent obituaries. But hold on.
Sure.
Before you think this is going to be all doom and gloom, let me assure you it's anything but.
Right.
We're going to uncover the fascinating lives and legacies of some truly extraordinary people.
Yeah.
Using a YouTube video simply titled 8 American Legends Who Died Today as our guide.
Okay.
And believe me, their stories are anything but ordinary.
What I find so captivating is that this video highlights people from all walks of life. Artists, journalists, musicians, even a television executive who completely reshaped British television.
Yeah.
It's like a snapshot of human achievement across different fields.
You know, you're absolutely right. It really highlights how diverse success can be and how each of these individuals in their own way left a lasting impact.
Yeah.
Take Greg Hildebrandt, for instance. He passed away on October 31st, 2024. You might not recognize his name instantly, but I bet you've seen his work.
Okay.
He and his twin brother Tim created that iconic Star Wars poster, the one with Luke Skywalker wielding his lightsaber.
Yeah.
It's a piece of pop culture history.
And the story behind that poster is almost as legendary as the film itself.
Wow.
They had just 36 hours to complete it, working in frantic shifts, fueled by coffee and pure creative energy.
Oh my gosh.
It speaks volumes about their dedication and the pressure they must have faced.
It's mind-boggling to think about creating something so iconic under such a tight deadline.
Yeah.
And their talent certainly didn't end there.
Right.
Those incredibly detailed Lord of the Rings calendars that were so popular, they were the Hildebrandt brothers' creations as well.
Right.
They seem to have a knack for capturing the magic of fantasy worlds.
What's fascinating is how their art seemed to tap into a cultural shift.
Okay.
Fantasy and science fiction were becoming increasingly popular.
Yeah.
And their work wasn't just visually stunning, it fueled that growing fascination with escaping into other worlds.
And Greg's creativity didn't stop there. He also worked on projects for Marvel Comics and Magic the Gathering, showcasing a remarkable range and influence across pop culture. What strikes me is that even while battling health challenges, he remained optimistic and passionate about his art.
It makes you wonder if that optimistic spirit is partly what made his work so appealing. There's a sense of wonder and possibility in his art, a reflection of his own outlook on life. It's a powerful message, really.
Right.
That even in the face of difficulty, creativity and optimism can thrive.
It really is. And speaking of individuals who left an impact, let's move on to Chris Radcliffe, a Texas news anchor who passed away on October 30th, 2024.
Okay.
He spent his career at KCEN TV hosting a show called Texas Today,
Right.
where he brought warmth and genuine connection to his reporting. He was that familiar, trusted face you welcomed into your home every day.
You know, Chris embodies the importance of local journalism.
Yeah?
He wasn't just a talking head delivering the news.
Right.
He was a part of the community he served. And as the media landscape changed, he adapted to new technology while staying true to his core values of journalistic integrity.
The video we're referencing even encourages viewers to rate Chris's impact on their lives on a scale of 0 to 10.
Wow.
That speaks volumes about the personal connection he made with his audience.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that journalism at its best is about more than just delivering facts. It's about connecting with people and building trust.
Absolutely. And speaking of shaping a field, our next deep dive takes us across the Atlantic to explore the life of Brian Tesler,
Okay.
a British television executive who passed away on October 31st, 2024. You might not recognize his name right away,
Right.
but his influence on British television is undeniable.
He was a true pioneer. He started at the BBC, which, as you probably know, is a public broadcasting network, but then made a bold move to ITV, a commercial network.
Okay.
It was a risky decision back in the 1960s when commercial television wasn't seen as quite as prestigious.
What's fascinating is that he saw the potential of commercial television to reach a wider audience and didn't shy away from pushing boundaries. As director of programming for ABC Television and later Thames Television, he introduced shows that were both entertaining and thought-provoking,
Right.
elevating the reputation of commercial television.
It's interesting, isn't it? Do you think he faced any backlash for making that leap from the BBC to the world of commercial television?
He certainly faced skepticism from some corners,
Yeah.
but ultimately his success spoke for itself.
Right.
He had a knack for balancing creative vision with what resonated with viewers. And he built incredibly talented teams who shared his passion for quality programming.
That ability to find that sweet spot between appealing to a wide audience and pushing creative boundaries is something you see in the best television even today.
Yeah.
And now let's shift gears to the world of conceptual art, a world that might not be familiar to everyone, but I assure you it's full of intrigue.
Okay.
We're talking about Robert C. Morgan, who passed away on October 23rd, 2024.
Morgan's work is truly captivating.
Yeah.
He was a conceptual artist, which means his art explored ideas and concepts rather than focusing solely on aesthetics.
Okay.
His recent exhibition, Loner is Given to Love, at the David Richard Gallery, featured these striking geometric paintings infused with metallics.
Oh, wow.
Imagine bold shapes and lines with a sheen that gave them a sense of both structure and fluidity.
It sounds incredibly unique. So how did he blend those Eastern and Western aesthetics you mentioned earlier? What did that look like in his art, and why was it significant?
Well, imagine the structured minimalism, often associated with Western art, combined with the fluidity and emphasis on imperfection found in some Eastern aesthetics.
Okay.
His work was about finding a balance between control and spontaneity, and it challenged viewers to look beyond the surface and engage with the concepts he was exploring.
So it's not just about what the art looks like, but what it makes you think about. That's fascinating.
Exactly. And beyond creating art, Morgan was also a respected art critic and historian.
Oh.
His writings on influential artists like Bruce Nauman and Clement Greenberg helped shape how we understand and interpret modern art.
Right.
He was both a creator and an influencer, which makes him a truly fascinating figure.
It's incredible how one person can have such a wide-ranging impact on a field. And now for our next deep dive, we're going to step into a world that many of you have likely experienced without even realizing it.
Okay.
The world of anime.
Right.
We're talking about Doc Harris, a broadcaster and voice actor who passed away on October 5th, 2024.
Okay.
If you grew up watching Dragon Ball Z, his voice will be instantly familiar.
He was the iconic narrator of Dragon Ball Z, and his narration style was truly unique.
Yeah.
It wasn't just about describing the action.
Yeah.
He brought a level of energy and gravitas that drew you into the heart of the story.
You're so right. It wasn't just narration, it was a performance. His voice became synonymous with those epic battles and characters for an entire generation of fans.
Wow.
He didn't just tell the story, he made you feel it.
And that's what made his work so transformative. He elevated narration to an art form.
Yeah.
He understood how to use his voice to connect with the audience on an emotional level. And that's a skill that goes far beyond simply reading lines.
And what's even more remarkable is that his talent wasn't confined to just Dragon Ball Z. He lent his voice to a wide range of projects,
Right.
showcasing an incredible versatility. He even faced some health challenges later in life.
Okay.
And the outpouring of support from fans was truly touching.
It speaks volumes about the impact he had, not just as a voice actor, but as a person. He built a connection with his audience that transcended the screen, and that's a powerful legacy to leave behind.
It really is. And speaking of legacies, let's delve into the life of Warren Wilson, a journalist who passed away on September 27th, 2024.
Okay.
His career is particularly relevant today given all the discussions surrounding ethical journalism and the importance of representation in media.
Warren was a trailblazer. He was one of the first black news anchors in Los Angeles back in the 1960s, breaking down barriers and setting a new standard for representation.
Wow.
And it wasn't just about his presence on screen, it was about his approach to journalism.
Right.
He brought a deep sense of compassion and empathy to his work, always striving to understand the communities he served.
He spent over 40 years building a career rooted in truth and integrity. And his work at KTLA was particularly impactful. What's fascinating is that he didn't just report the news, he actively advocated for individuals and communities, often going beyond traditional reporting to make a real difference in people's lives.
One particularly powerful moment from his career came during the 1992 LA riots. He interviewed a store owner standing on the roof of his burning building, capturing a moment of resilience amidst chaos.
Wow.
It's a testament to Warren's ability to find hope in humanity even in the darkest of times.
It's truly inspiring. And for our final deep dive in part 1, let's explore the life and legacy of a true blues legend, Nick Cravenites, who passed away on September 18th, 2024 at the age of 85.
Okay.
Now, some of you might not be familiar with his name, but his influence on American music, especially blues and rock, is undeniable.
He was a force of nature, a true storyteller who channeled the raw emotion and soul of the blues through his music.
Wow.
He collaborated with some of the biggest names in music, including Janis Joplin and Paul Butterfield. And his songwriting captured the raw and real experiences of a generation.
His music wasn't just entertainment, it was a voice for change and resilience.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating how his solo work resonated with fans on such a deep level.
Yeah.
They felt a personal connection to his music, finding comfort and understanding in his honest, soulful lyrics.
He wasn't just performing, he was bearing his soul.
Right.
And that authenticity resonated with audiences who were searching for something real in a world that was changing so rapidly.
Yeah.
His music transcended genres, touching people from all walks of life. It's a testament to the enduring power of the blues to speak to the human experience.
It really is. And his legacy is a reminder that music can be a powerful force for connection, healing, and social change. It can give a voice to those who feel unheard and offer solace to those who are hurting.
Absolutely. And, speaking of music that touches the soul, let's shift our focus to a writer who had that same gift.
Okay.
The ability to capture the essence of a time and place through words.
Right.
We're talking about Tina McElroy Ansa,
Yeah.
a novelist who sadly passed away on September 10th, 2024.
Now, Ansa's work wasn't just about telling stories. It was about capturing the heart and soul of Southern Black life.
Right.
Her writing was filled with cultural heritage, those little Southern superstitions, and a wisdom that felt timeless. It's like she bottled up the essence of a whole community and poured it onto the pages.
Her debut novel, Baby the Family, published back in 1989, became an instant classic. It explored themes of family identity and that strong sense of Southern heritage in a way that resonated deeply with readers.
Yeah.
It even earned a spot on the list of 25 books every Georgian should read.
That's quite an accolade. It seems like she really struck a chord with readers. Did her later books explore similar themes?
They did, but each one brought something unique to the table. Books like Ugly Ways and The Hand I Fan With all showcased her masterful storytelling.
Right.
But each explored different facets of Southern Black life, weaving in those elements of the everyday with the mystical, the real with the magical.
It sounds like she had a real talent for making her characters and their world come alive for the reader.
Absolutely. Her characters were so richly drawn you felt like you knew them personally. And beyond her novels, Ansa was also a dedicated teacher and mentor, inspiring a new generation of writers.
Wow.
She even founded Down South Press, an independent publishing house focused on giving Black voices a platform.
That's really inspiring. It's one thing to achieve success yourself, but to then use that success to empower others is truly remarkable. Ansa's legacy is so much more than just her books.
Right.
It's about the writers she mentored, the stories she inspired, and the countless lives she touched through her work.
That makes me think about how we often define legacy by accomplishments.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's about the ripple effect you create, how you inspire and uplift others.
Right.
And speaking of individuals with a significant ripple effect, let's talk about someone who thankfully is still with us,
Okay.
but has been making headlines recently, Simon Cowell.
Oh, Simon Cowell. I think everyone knows who he is.
Right.
The sharp-tongued judge from shows like American Idol and The X Factor, love him or hate him.
Yeah.
He definitely knows how to spot talent and make for entertaining television.
He certainly does. And he's built an incredibly successful career, transitioning from music producer to this larger-than-life television personality.
Yeah.
His company, Sicko Entertainment, has launched some of the biggest names in music, like One Direction and Fifth Harmony.
But his journey hasn't been without its controversies. Recently, Kelly Osbourne made some pretty serious allegations, claiming that Cowell demanded her family leave the set of American Idol.
Oh, wow.
It sparked a lot of debate about his behavior and how he treats people.
It's a reminder that even those who achieve incredible success aren't immune to scrutiny.
Yeah.
And it raises questions about the line between being blunt and being disrespectful,
Right.
and whether his focus on success sometimes comes at the expense of others.
It's a delicate balance, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And speaking of delicate balances, a major turning point in Cowell's life came in 2020 when he had that serious e-bike accident.
Right.
He broke his back and faced the possibility of never walking again. That must have been terrifying.
It was a life-altering experience, and it seems to have shifted his perspective in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
He's spoken about reevaluating his priorities, focusing on his health, adopting a healthier lifestyle, and even losing weight. It seems like he's made a conscious effort to change.
And he didn't let that accident stop him. He returned to America's Got Talent with a renewed sense of purpose. It's a testament to his resilience.
And what's interesting is that viewers noticed a change in him.
Oh, really?
He seemed more empathetic towards the contestants,
Okay.
offering encouragement alongside his critiques. It was like the accident had humanized him in a way.
I can see how a near-death experience could have that kind of impact. So what do you think? Has Simon Cowell really changed? Or is it all for show?
It's hard to say for sure, but his actions seem to speak louder than words.
Right.
He's become more involved in philanthropy,
Okay.
supporting causes related to healthcare and children's welfare. It suggests a desire to use his platform for good, which is a positive sign.
It is. And, even if it's a gradual evolution, it's encouraging to see someone in his position using their influence to make a positive impact.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that change is always possible no matter who you are or what you've done in the past.
It really is.
Yeah.
And it speaks to the complexities of human nature, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We're all capable of growth and change, even those who seem larger than life. It really is. And it speaks to the complexities of human nature, doesn't it? We're all capable of growth and change, even those who seem larger than life.
Absolutely. So as we wrap up this deep dive into these remarkable lives, what stands out to you? We've journeyed through so many different fields and experiences, from fantasy art to the heart of the blues.
It's amazing how this one YouTube video, simply titled American Legends, led us to such a diverse group of individuals whose impact reaches far beyond any list or label. We had Greg Hildebrandt, whose art transported us to other worlds, and Chris Radcliffe, who reminded us of the power of connection in local journalism.
And then there was Brian Tesler, who dared to elevate commercial television, proving it could be both entertaining and intellectually stimulating.
We explored the thought-provoking world of Robert C. Morgan, whose conceptual art challenged us to look beyond the surface, and Doc Harris, whose voice brought anime to life for a generation. It's like a tapestry of human achievement, each thread unique yet interwoven with the others.
We can't forget Warren Wilson, who broke barriers in journalism and advocated for those often overlooked, and Nick Gravenites, whose soulful blues music gave voice to a generation's struggles and triumphs.
And of course, Tina McElroy Ansa, whose words painted vivid portraits of Southern Black life filled with cultural heritage and timeless wisdom. It's inspiring to see how each of them, in their own way, left a mark on the world.
It makes you think about the legacies we're all building, right?
Right.
What will people say about us? What stories will we leave behind?
That's a powerful thought. It's a reminder that our lives, no matter how ordinary they may seem, have the potential to touch others. Each of us has a unique story, a set of talents and experiences that we bring to the world.
It's like that ripple effect you mentioned earlier. We may never fully grasp the impact we have, but it's there.
Exactly. And who knows, maybe someday someone will do a deep dive into our lives, uncovering the hidden gems and unexpected connections that make each human story so fascinating.
That's a wonderful thought to end on. So to everyone listening, go out there and make your mark on the world. Embrace your passions, hone your talents, and never underestimate the power of your own unique story. You never know who you might inspire.